I have lived in Seoul, South Korea for 3.5 years now, and I absolutely love it, don't get me wrong, but this is an extremely fast-paced society. There are technological solutions for literally everything. Taxi rides here are quite stressful, and there is little to no places where you can find peace within the city. As I'm getting older and older, I very quickly realized that this very fast-paced mindset isn't really for me, and that a big city life has a lot of detriments for my mental health and for my general well-being. So over the years I have accumulated quite a bit of different practices and tips that helps me stay grounded and spiritually connected, and also connected to my body as well. So within this video, I'm going to give you a list of tips that I am currently practicing, or that I'm actually starting to practice now, so we can start to do it together. And I'm sure that if you live in a big city or in a fast-paced society yourself, I'm sure that you can find some help in this video. So my apartment is currently where I find the most amount of peace within this city. It's a very common knowledge and well-researched thing that going out in nature gives us a sense of peace and grounding, and it is literally medicine for our nervous system. But when living in a big city, it's just not always very convenient or easy to get out and find a place that has enough nature around you to feel this. So the first tip is to bring nature into your home. So I've been trying to bring in nature in forms of plants into my sacred space here at home for a while now, but sometimes I'm not very successful at it. I'm still learning how to keep plants alive, and some of them just really work well with me, other ones I just seem to be killing over and over again, so I'm really trying to learn more about that these days. But caring for them in general gives me this feeling of a loving energy exchange. It feels like a symbiosis, and it's hard to explain because I feel like I'm giving life and energy to these plants, and they definitely give life and energy to me as well when I'm walking in and seeing them blooming in my room and in my space. It just makes me so happy and very calm. When my space relaxes me, I feel safe to venture into the city as well. The peace that plants and stuff like candles and incense and such will give me will sit in my body and protect my energies for the busyness of the people and the environment outside of my apartment as well. Speaking about venturing out into the city, I have practiced a lot holding space and understanding and love for people and strangers out when I'm about on the streets. I realized that I held a lot of irritation, still do. I have a big tendency to become irritated when I see people stressing around, running after buses that literally comes every 5 minutes, honking in traffic and all of these stuff. It's something inside of me that really triggers me and makes me irritated. I'm stopping myself right now because I am practicing speaking in a way that makes me not manifest this as reality. So, okay, anyways, for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna continue. I don't know if you've heard the terms 빨리빨리, but it means quick, and it's literally the #1 term that people describe Korea as. It's just the mindset that people have here, hurrying around everywhere. And I think the first step in order to have peace with that is to hold space for them. Each of these people has their own life and story, and we could never know what is going on with their life. And it makes me remember that we're all here together, and I have to practice not to hold judgment to these people or get irritated from people who might hurry around everywhere. I don't know what's going on inside of them, and the only thing that I have control over is my reaction. And so what I've really found to work is to take in this experience and acknowledge that I'm feeling irritated or stressed because of this, and realize that actually this is not because of what's happening, this is all inside of me, and I'm in control of that, right? Because this is something that I'm experiencing inside of myself. And so what I like to do is just stop up, and I will literally force a smile onto myself. That will seem extremely uncomfortable or unnatural first, but as soon as your body recognizes the smile and you relax in your body, your mind is believing that it's actually a smile that came because of happiness, and it will feel like a happiness smile, I promise you, within the first couple of seconds. How it just grounds your whole system and relaxes those irritated nerves is insane. I mean, the mind is just mind-blowing to me, and it helps a lot. Another practice that I had recently learned about that I've also started to practice is to really imagine yourself connected to Mother Earth and Gaia, or whatever you want to call her, and imagine these roots coming up from the ground and attaching to the soles of your feet and dragging you and holding you close and kind of holding you in a sense. I have felt that I could feel this all the way up in my body and in my legs when I have pictured this, and it also really helps with the grounding. Incorporating some breath work, maybe just taking a couple of deep breaths in, always solves any irritation that I have in my body. So those were a couple of different things that I'm doing out and about when I'm feeling triggered. And of course, holding this space and love to strangers that you don't know can seem a little bit difficult, especially if you are not used to holding this space to yourself. And this is where my third tip comes in. This is something that I haven't done yet that I really want to do together with you guys right now. So if you have the opportunity as well, I would love to see you making yours. So the thing that we're gonna make today is a self-love altar. So altars have been used in a lot of different societies and religions and in witchcraft as well for a very long time. Basically, it's a sacred space that you set up with an intention. I will see this more as a physical manifestation of love to myself, and it will serve as a reminder every time I see it or every time I walk into this space and feel its presence. It will remind me to take a step back and really think for myself and from a place of love. I'm choosing my bedroom as a location to do this in because not a lot of people actually go in there. It's mostly just a space that me and Jake share together, which makes it a bit more special and intimate for me. Also, there's already a green surface in there, and as we all know, green really makes me happy, and I couldn't think of a better color to incorporate into this self-love altar. When you make this, please remember that there are no wrong or right way to put spaces together like this. The only thing that's necessary is to be present in your intention behind putting the objects there. It has to hold meaning to you and remind you of your love to yourself and others' love to you. You don't have to buy anything new in order to complete this altar, although you're certainly welcome to if it is within your budget. I went out totally not planned to a little store close by, and they had a sale with some beautiful glass items, and I really loved how they looked, so I decided to incorporate them into this space as well. So let me talk about what I put on the altar. Firstly, I put on a mirror to see the present me always. I know a lot of people put photos of themselves on altars like this, but I really wanted to put emphasis on the fact that to see myself and also to do some mirror work in the future. Then I put a candle here. This candle holds a lot of love for me because it is a gift from my good friend Jay, and he made this himself, so it really means a lot, and it's the perfect thing to put on this altar for me. Then on my little glass tray here, I'm putting a crystal, and actually this crystal was a gift from Angelina. I do not know much about crystals, and it's not even charged or anything, but it's beautiful and it still holds a lot of meaning to me because it's a gift from Angelina. Then I'm putting a little incense holder. I just got this a couple of days ago from Carrie. She brought it for me because she just really loved the color and the shape, and it reminded her of me, which really means a lot, so that is going onto my space as well. Furthermore, I have a little notebook. I just really like to have some paper there, so any thoughts that I want to put down or manifestations, I can actually write them down immediately on the spot there. And then my little very special beautiful colored heart. This heart is from Sissel. She gave it to me together with some paper flowers that she made herself as well. And on this little heart note, it says, "Immortal flowers just like my love for you." And I just that little heart means so much to me. Lastly, I put a little flower on there. This is a flower that I bought for myself, and I just really wanted to incorporate some love from myself as well onto there. So this altar is probably gonna switch in and out with a lot of items, and more people probably want to incorporate their stuff onto it. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it changes over the time as well. One thing to keep in mind when you make this thing for yourself is to not try to make it specifically spiritual looking or witchy in any sort of way. This is purely just for items that you really enjoy, that you're bringing in with intention, that other people have gifted you, that just holds a lot of meaning to you. Literally, that's the most important thing. You don't need something really nature looking or dirt or crystals or all of that stuff. It only has to hold meaning for you, so don't feel pressured about any of that kind of stuff. The next tip is something also related to self-love, because that is by far the most grounding thing that I could think of when I was writing this list. I have for a very long time now incorporated this specific self-love ritual, and I've been doing it religiously every single day. It is abhyanga, and I've mentioned it before and I will probably also mention it again. It's just such an important thing to me. So abhyanga is a traditional massage medicine from Ayurveda. Ayurveda has been a passion of mine for a couple of years now, and it holds so much love inside of me. Basically, abhyanga specifically usually traditionally involves warm oils, but because this is a very daily practice for me, I have switched oils out with some cream instead. It just works better for my body, to be honest. But I've been for a while now really wanted to make my own cream, so that's what we're gonna do together now. Massaging has a direct effect on your nervous system, and it's linked to a reduction of stress feeling. Massaging has also been found to reduce your blood pressure, as well as help with your skin health and appearance. All of these great benefits are a reason enough in itself to practice self-massage. But my primary reason for doing it is the intimate connection that it creates with my body. This practice is so sacred to me. It reminds me a lot to be more gentle and loving towards my body. I think we tend to forget to be gentle with ourselves. It's not that long ago that I could think back to a time where I would, in frustration over the appearance of my body, literally hit myself in the stomach or squinch my thighs really hard, and it breaks my heart to think back to a time like that where I was so disconnected with my body that I hated it for how it looked. And it shakes my bones every time I think about it, and I'm so thankful to myself for trying my best to change this mindset. Of course, it's still a work in progress, but practices like this really puts me closer to my body, and it makes me being able to feel it much more and be able to ground myself in my vessel here. it's such a powerful practice, and I hope that you will try it yourself as well. Of course, one of the absolute most highest tips that I could give you is to once in a while, or as often as possible, get out of the city and just extract yourself from the busy situations so you can reconnect with nature and so you can feel more connected and gathered again. Getting out of the city and into nature has in every study been found to have immense effects on our well-being and happiness. Our heart rate slows down and our brain produces more of those happy and feel-good hormones. I love coming out and breathing in clean, non-polluted air, touching trees, hugging trees, feeling the never-ending feminine power of Mother Nature. Nothing brings me such a calm as nature does. Suddenly, life gets quiet and you forget why you pull yourself through so much stress in the daily life. The silence of nature is truly inspiring to me, and I feel every time that I come back from a trip like this, I feel renewed, and I feel that I could go on for a long time before I actually is hit with my first stressful feeling again. My last tip is to find people who make you feel grounded and make you feel safe when you're with them. I have been so fortunate to attract a lot of very beautiful souls into my life, especially recently, and it has really helped with my grounding and my confidence in myself, and also in the freedom that I give myself to explore new practices, new mindset, and really practice my spirituality on another level. I feel so much connection, and it's just so important to have these circles of people around you where you feel unconditional love and freedom to be whoever you are and support. And I could not give you a stronger tip than that, to find your little family wherever you are that could ground you in a matter of seconds, no matter how your surroundings might look. That is truly the most important tip that I could give you in this. So I am obviously still learning a lot about grounding myself, and as I'm growing, habits come in and habits fall out of my life a lot, so there's probably gonna be new tips in 6 months and even more new tips a year after that. So if you enjoyed this video and would love to see more videos kind of in this style, please let me know. I had so much fun and passion making this video for you. So if you try out any of the tips, if you make yourself the body butter, or if you are making yourself a self-love altar, I would love to see it, so you could tag me in Instagram or send me a DM. That would mean a lot. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next week.